Sweden joins Bowling Green and Atlanta in fictional tragedy. Too fake for Fox. Impeach President Bannon. A mic handed over reveals that tomorrow belongs to Trump. And unfortunately, much more in your Trump damage report for February 19th, 2017. Hold on to something. Trump's remarks on a terrorist attack taking place in Sweden baffles the nation, including Sweden, who asked him to clarify what he was talking about. Trump gets his news and facts from Fox News. When he made up the terrorist attack in Sweden at his rally, he was referencing something he vaguely heard on Tucker Carlson's show on Fox News. The New York Times reveals that Trump Associates continues to back-channel with Russia, particularly on the subject of Ukraine. Because, let's be serious, none of us expected it to stop after the traitor Flynn was fired, did we? Trump's Secretary of Defense, James Mattis, disagrees with Trump in that he does not see the free press of America as, quote, the enemy, end quote, as Trump and Herr Priebus do. And speaking of Herr Priebus, Fox News' own Chris Wallace goes off on him today, saying during an interview, "You don't get to tell us what to do." Two schools of thought exist on the subject of Trump and how to handle his supporters. On one hand, it is imperative that those in the resistance do not become the monsters they seek to remove, targeting individuals and children with childlike insults and petty bickering. On the other hand, it is worth vehement vocal opposition and verbalizing that you do not approve of and find support of Trump to be detestable and anathema to what is acceptable. The New York Times analysis goes in depth on this subject. Trump will be able to appoint a member to the Federal Elections Commission. Gear up for the influx of Russian oligarch dollars in local races for dog catcher. Impeach President Bannon signs pop up around the country, and they are hilarious, as they are accurate. Remember repeal and replace? And how it became repeal and maybe replace? And then it became repeal and eventually replace, we promise? And then Congress ran screaming from town halls in their districts. It is now the sound of crickets from Republicans accompanying covered doctor's visits for Americans. Trump handed the microphone to a demented supporter at his re-election rally in Melbourne, Florida. Later, the individual tells us that he salutes a cardboard cutout of Trump in his house every day. Quote, "He taught me everything. He taught me everything," end quote. If you haven't seen the interview, you really must check it out over at CNN. The zealous supporter nearly breaks out into a rendition of "Tomorrow Belongs to Me" from Cabaret. According to the Wall Street Journal, Trump's people are looking into changing the way the U.S. trade deficit is calculated, so he can make a stronger case for punitive, economy-crushing tariffs on industrial and consumer goods. The surprisingly non-jovial Chris Christie has confirmed with staff that he has accepted a position within the Trump administration. Based on the past appointments by Trump, we anticipate it to be as the head of the USDA or nutrition czar. That's all for today, we hope. Hit the subscribe button now to make sure that you get the next Trump Damage Report in your feed. Share with your friends who ought to know what Trump is up to, and if you've enjoyed our report, hit like. If you didn't, hit dislike. Tell us what you think in the comments section. Above all, and as always, stay vigilant.